Hey everyone, welcome back to Cracking the GRE Math Subject Test. We're still on Precalculus, and this is question number 21. So this question tests your knowledge of sine and cosine. We're told that sine of x is 1/2, and that we're asked to find what the cosine of the negative sine of x is. Well, let's think about this. If we know that sine of x is 1/2, well, this part in here has to be an angle whose sine is 1/2. So what angles give us a sine of 1/2? Well, remember 30 degrees, that's pi over 6. And 150 degrees, which is 5 pi over 6. Okay, well, that means that sine of x is either equal to pi over 6 or 5 pi over 6 plus some multiple of 2 pi. Remember that if you go all the way around the circle, you still get the same sign. So, remember, but here 2 pi, that's about 6.28. So if we add a multiple of 2 pi, we're going to get a number that's bigger than 1. And remember that sine is bounded by 1. It can't be bigger than 1. So this kind of rules out the 2 pi here. Now, pi over 6, that's about 1/2, approximately. 5 pi over 6, that's already a big number. That's more than 1. That's almost 3. So that's about 3. So we know that sine x cannot be 5 pi over 6. Because again, it's bounded by 1. So sine x is so then we're left with pi over 6. So sine x is pi over 6, and we're asked what's cosine of negative sine x. Well, remember that cosine's an even function, so cosine of negative sine x, that's the same thing as cosine of sine x. And we know that sine x is pi over 6. And what's cosine of pi over 6? Well, that's just root 3 over 2. So the answer is E.